The receiving core isn't as deep as it was last season, in particular with Megatron turning into a mega turd, going the entire first half without a catch for the second week straight. That plus nasty Nate Burleson done for the season with a broken leg. Week 8 provided relief in the form of Titus Young and Ryan Broyles, Young being the most productive of the two with 9 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown. The problem with Young is that he has a case of the Sues, where he only takes on a challenge when he's in the mood, and Broyles is still young, learning the position, and adjusting to the speed of the NFL. Against Jacksonville in Week 8, look for Stafford to continue targeting his tight ends, Tony Scheffler and Brandon Pettigrew, to open up the middle, creating some first downs and also trying to free up Calvin Johnson. Green Bay struggled to put Jacksonville away in Week 8 with 8 starters out, however found a way to get it done with a subpar performance from Aaron Rodgers. Taking the biggest hit was a wideout position, with Jennings down for a while and Nelson coping with a hamstring problem. Receivers like Jones and Driver are going to be asked to play bigger roles in the offense as they did last week. One positive is that they continue to try to run the ball. Even though they've had little success, it continues to keep defenses honest, allowing Aaron Rodgers time to pass, which is going to play big in Week 9 against Arizona. The journey back to earth hasn't been graceful for the Minnesota Vikings, getting smoked out in Week 8 by Tampa Bay, who ended up taking advantage of an injury-weakened secondary. Cornerback Chris Cook is dealing with a broken arm, and Maestro Raymond is continuing to work towards returning to safety, possibly in Week 9 at Seattle, who's been out for 5.5 games. Using Adrian Peterson more is certainly a recipe for success. However, in doing so, sustaining the passing game is key, in particular when the defense is hurting. Jay Cutler called the Bears' performance in Week 8 boo-worthy, but the most frightening statistic is the 6 sacks in the first half and the boatload of drops in the second, which won't play in Week 9 against Tennessee. Not all the sacks were on the offensive line, but a majority can be tracked back to Jay Cutler holding onto the ball too long, waiting for receivers to come out of their routes and allowing the defenses to know their positioning. It's hard to find an explanation for the offensive inconsistencies with this team, considering that it was a strong suit going into this season. The pass protection hasn't been there long enough for Cutler to get hot yet, but after using Kellen Davis in the second half, they sped up the tempo and took advantage of the opposing defense by keeping them locked onto the field. Happy Halloween, and thank you for subscribing and taking a moment to get water cooler smart with NFL Espresso. I'm John Maloris from SportsFanChicago.com, and you can find my weekly confidence picks there and follow me on Twitter at Twitter.com/Maloris, M-A-L-I-O-R-I-S. Happy Halloween.